Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to the Road to Jurassic World Dominion. In this series, I'm going to be covering every Jurassic Park movie in honor of Jurassic World Dominion coming out on June 10th. I've already discussed Jurassic Park. If you'd like to check that video out, there will be an eye in the right-hand corner. Please do check that out. But for right now, let's dive into The Lost World, Jurassic Park, released in 1997. This movie picks up 4 years after the events of Jurassic Park, and after that whole thing that went down, Hammond has been pushed out of InGen, and Dr. Malcolm is, well, not doing so great professionally and personally. But Hammond reaches out to Malcolm saying, "Hey, you know that island I told you about? Well, there was another island, and we were using that as a laboratory. But at the same time, I need you to go over there and catalog some things because my company's pretty much going to take it over." After much exasperation from Dr. Malcolm, including saying the best line of the movie, when Hammond says, "I promise I am not making the same mistakes," and then Malcolm responds with, "No, you're making new ones." Malcolm reluctantly goes on to the mission, along with his former paleontologist girlfriend, played by Julianne Moore, and a photographer, played by Vince Vaughn. But soon they have to deal with said InGen, as well as the dinosaurs themselves. I don't think it's a controversial statement to say that Jurassic Park is one of the finest movies ever made. It's one of the best movies of the 90s in terms of CGI, writing, acting. It has aged incredibly well. So, when it comes to The Lost World, it's often seen as a lesser movie. I've seen this movie once before when I did this thing away from YouTube where I tried to watch every movie from 1997, the year I was born. I am now up to November. I do want to try and finish it, but I'm at this movie called Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil that I'm not sure if I really want to watch, but I want to finish the challenge to myself. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But I have seen The Lost World before, and I actually did quite like it, even though there are a lot of people who do not like it. And now that I can say, having seen it with a fresh pair of eyes, this is definitely not as bad as people make it out to be. It's not perfect, but in terms of how good Jurassic Park was and how the sequels are regarded as not great, there's definitely 1,000 times more effort put forth in this than more people give credit for. In my research, I found that Michael Crichton was looking to write a Jurassic Park sequel for quite some time and used the success of the movie as an excuse to do it. He even wrote a draft of this movie for this movie. And Steven Spielberg, who would go on to direct it, wanted to draw inspiration from the 1925 movie The Lost World, hence the title. However, through a series of events, those influences were just that, influences. It was just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and in the screenplay, you can kinda tell. But overall, like I said, I do have a lot of respect for this movie. There is at least an attempt to try and carry on things that were presented, things, ideas, action sequences, from the first one. Firstly, it's always nice to see Jeff Goldblum, especially as Dr. Malcolm, and he's given a lot more to do here, and thank God for it, because he did a great job. He's given a daughter in the movie, and I'm not 100% sure if this was entirely necessary. I thought the daughter character was fine. I thought the actress who played her did a pretty good job, but honestly, I just don't see the point of her being there. I mean, with the exception of one action sequences where she uses gymnastics to beat a velociraptor.
What?
I guess I just like the dynamic better between Dr. Malcolm and Julianne Moore's character. I liked those two together. Speaking of Julianne Moore, it's Julianne Moore, so of course she's going to be good. As well as Vince Vaughn. He does a good job here as well. We also get an unofficial Big Lebowski reunion as Peter Stormare, who plays one of the InGen goons, is in here, as well as Julianne Moore. And Stormare does a good job as well. And one of the hitmen, I guess, for InGen is played by Peter Postlethwaite, who I know as Robert Fisher from Inception, or Robert Fisher's dad. The action in the movie is actually quite good. There's definitely some stuff you're kind of like, oh, come on, what the heck was that? Especially the gymnastic stuff. But overall, I thought it was handled pretty well. The CGI is also pretty good as well. There is, of course, a mix of practical and CGI, and it all looks great, especially my favorite scene of the movie. It's the whole trailer scene where Julianne Moore lands on the pane of glass and she has to wake up without breaking the glass. It's great. Honestly, if they would have kept it on the island, I think the movie would be definitely in Jurassic Park 1 territory. But my main problem with this movie is some of the elements of the screenplay just kind of make this a mess. For example, this movie makes out InGen to be absolutely just the dumbest company ever. And yeah, that's definitely the truth, because basically the plan for InGen is to take these dinosaurs and reopen Jurassic Park. But instead of a Costa Rican island, they're going to open it in, let me check my notes, San Diego, California.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Look, I know California is a state that requires a lot of hard work, but I mean, come on. It's just incredibly dumb to, have this clear liability of a dinosaur theme park literally in a state with, hundreds of thousands of people. It makes no sense. The argument could be made that it's even worse that they have it on a Costa Rican island, but at least it's on an island where, there's bodies of water and the risk of endangering human life is minimal. If a dinosaur escapes out of Jurassic Park San Diego, they're literally in San Diego, a pretty populous city last I checked. Which is exactly what happens in the third act of the movie, and so you just have to look at InGen and be like, what were you thinking? This is just one of those things that just makes me mad. It drives me nuts about the Jurassic Park sequels, because it's clear that people know what these dinosaurs are capable of, so why they intend to do anything else with these dinosaurs, it drives you crazy. At the end of the day, though, I guess I could be a little harsher toward the movie, but at the same time, there is clearly effort put forth here. I mean, it's directed by Steven Spielberg, so of course it's going to be, at the very least, good. The CGI still holds up. Some of the action, while not great, is still pretty much there. The acting is solid across the board. I won't go so far as to say this movie is bad. However, there's definitely some head-scratching decisions, and so for that, I'm going to give it a good rating, but a high good. I can't give it great because it's definitely among the what were you thinking movies, but it's definitely worth the effort to seek out for yourself. But what did you all think of The Lost World? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say about it. And next up in the series is a genuine first-time watch for me. I'm going to be watching Jurassic Park 3 for the very first time. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.